to 5 Minutes of Black History. Glad that you decided to come back and join us for today. We've got a lot of great information, so we're going to get started first with the little known Black History fact.
The evil and terror known as Nazi Germany received inspiration from the white supremacist social structure of the United States. Yale professor James Q. Whitman, in his book, Hitler's American Model, examined how the Third Reich found sustenance for its race-based initiatives in American law. 45 Nazi lawyers who had codified the Reich's race-based legal philosophy sailed to New York to gain special insights into the workings of the American legal and economic system for the purposes of further entrenching race-based policies in Germany. Not only did the Nuremberg laws themselves reflect direct American influence, but also American precedents informed crucial Nazi texts, including the National Socialist Handbook for Law and Legislation of 1934 and 1935.
Now it is time for the person of the day. Bye.
Today's person of the day is Caroline LeCount. Caroline LeCount was an educator as well as an activist. She saw it as a kid growing up. Her house was actually used as a stop on the Underground Railroad. And as a teacher, she would also help fundraise and get clothing together for the Union Army during the Civil War, specifically black regiments. But her claim to fame is actually desegregating streetcars in Philadelphia. Her and a bunch of others actually tried to get these streetcars integrated. Unfortunately, they were thrown off, but their efforts produced the governor at the time signing a law desegregating those streetcars. Caroline LeCount, our person of the day.
Now it is time for story time. Enjoy it and have fun. Bye.
Welcome to Story Time, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to learn about your favorite president, maybe not my favorite president, but he's a lot of people's favorite president, Abraham Lincoln, 16th president of the United States, who had the unenviable task of trying to figure out how to save the United States during the Civil War. So he had a problem, of course. He was fighting a war. He wanted to reunite the country, and he was trying to figure out how best to do that. He was really troubled by all of the people killing each other, namely white people killing each other in the name of fighting this war. And he understood that the core part or issue of this war was enslavement. So he gathered up a group of black delegates from Washington, D.C., where he was, and they had a meeting at the White House. A meeting of the minds, if you will, but more or less his mind hoping to coerce their minds to do something that he wanted to do. What he thought would fix everything was that African Americans had to leave the United States, and he communicated this to this delegation, and he said something like, listen, unfortunately, enslavement is why this war is going on, and you folks have to leave. Well, maybe not you folks, because you live a life of freedom and privilege, and you don't have to necessarily go. But for the millions of others, certainly they may need to go. It might behoove them to do so. And he told this to this delegation, and they, after a while, thought about it and said, yeah, baby, we should do that. When they decided to talk to some folks throughout the country, in Philadelphia and Boston, all over, about the possibility of immigrating somewhere else. Now, little did they know that Abraham Lincoln already had a place in mind. Territory in Central America, actually South America, Chiriquí, which was a little territory that was owned by Panama that was currently in Colombia, South America. And he was going to send tens of thousands of African Americans there to end the Civil War. And well, when news got out to the various African Americans along the North and that were free, they flatly rejected the idea. They said, who made these folks delegates or spokesmen for all black people? Absolutely not. And so this went down as one of the more controversial moments in the history of Abraham Lincoln's tenure as president. Story of the day.
Now it is time for the word of the day. Bye, enjoy.
So today's word of the day is jazz. We all know the word, we know what it means, but did you know that it came from Africa? Let's take a look. It's from the Bantu jaja, to make dance. And there are other forms of it that are obsolete and various applications of the term, but actually it could also mean to speed up, to excite, to exaggerate, or to act in an unrestricted or extreme way. And when we think of jazz music is very unrestricted. It's a form of music that is popular because of the ability to improvise. And some of the greatest musicians that you ever heard are actual jazz musicians who improvise on a number of songs that are classics today. But the word specifically means to make dance, and it comes from Africa. The African word of the day.
Support
Black businesses. Support black businesses. I said it first, none of you.
Steph with the Crafts is a custom apparel and decor company with a flair for the unapologetic. Located in Clementon, New Jersey, Steph with the Crafts specializes in all things that uplift and empower Black people, Black women, and anyone looking for affirmation in a world seeking to break them down. Whether it is masks, doormats, shirts, or Christmas ornaments, you can be sure that Steph with the Crafts can not only supply you with what you need, but she can also supply you with the opportunity to show your solidarity with the struggle for Black life. Steph with the Crafts shifts nationally while providing free local pickup. Steph with the Crafts can be found on IG as Steph with the Crafts, all lowercase. You can find the links to her shop there. Cold Arts and Design is a graphic arts and design company that is the brainchild of Christopher Coley. Located in Berlin, New Jersey, Cold Arts was established in 2019. Cold Arts and Design specializes in making the vision and power of your brand, logo, or message and/or event alive to your intended audience. Whether it is a professional development event, a company logo, a keynote speech, or a nonprofit community-oriented event, Cold Arts and Design has the ability to provide clients with just what they're looking for, the sort of graphic design that matches the life-giving and affirming power of their event. If you're looking for a new logo or flyer or a newsletter or anything requiring a modern, classy, and riveting design, reach out to Cold Arts and Design today. Cold Arts and Designs can be found on IG at Cold Arts, that's one word, _and_ design. So right now we're on location outside my house, but we're on location just to show you some of the great work done by Steph with the Crafts. We have right here behind us a wreath. This is our Christmas wreath that came from Steph with the Crafts that we purchased, and it says, "'Tis the season to arrest Breonna Taylor's killers." Now, certainly people get clowned for leaving up Christmas decorations, but let's be honest, it's always a good time to arrest the murderers of Breonna Taylor. So we have this bad boy up. But not just Steph with the Crafts, but Cold Arts with Chris Coley. He does amazing artwork. He's used throughout the Delaware Valley. Folks are using his artwork to bring to life what it is that they need to advertise. And we use him as well for some of our flyers, including this one. It's a flyer for our event that we had on February 11th, and the next two that we're having on February 23rd with Soretta Hammond and February 24th with Dr. Travis Bristol. We hope that you'll join us for those, just as you've joined us for these 5 Minutes of Black History episodes. We thank you for joining us this week, and join us next week, which is our very last episode. My gosh, we're almost finished. So again, thank you for joining us, and we hope that you have enjoyed this time with us. See you next week.